Hello everyone, Raul Luna here, founder of Level Up Now Academy, and welcome to episode 1. In this episode, I'm going to be covering the number one challenge that every real estate investor, real estate agent, and as a matter of fact, every business owner, entrepreneur has out there for the most part. And what do you think that is? Put a little bit of thought in what do you think it is? And besides, developing the right mindset, it's not having enough leads in their pipeline, not having enough sales in through their business. And one of the things that I can tell you straight flat out is income. If you increase the income, is the best way to resolve most of the challenges. But how do you get more sales if you don't have, or you may be, stuck, or you don't know, or you may know and you're just not doing it. How to get enough leads, enough sellers, to basically sell you their property or list the property with you, or, the perfect client. See, and few challenges that I know is, and I can tell you this from experience. I remember when I went in business, not knowing why I was going into business, who was my ideal customer or client, and how could I, my different ways of marketing or channels that I could get leads through my pipeline. So I remember I just went in and started obviously doing everything I could, and while it's a great way, by the way, one way of getting it right, or eventually getting it to be great is by being really bad at it, right? It's by going into massive action and discovering what is it that is working, what is it that is not. But I want to be able to share, obviously, what I have personally experienced, and I know that through that you're going to be able to help yourself and tweak few things, either on your current business, or if you're thinking on going in business for yourself, or things of that nature, right? So, and then if you got ideas that you want to share, feel free to leave messages down below, because it's just going to help everyone in the community. If you got ideas that is helping you in a very major way on attracting customers, or attracting sellers, or attracting your ideal client. So basically, one of the things that I would say, and I'm not going to dive into it because I want to make sure that we give enough time for the number one challenge, which is not enough leads, quality leads in through your pipeline. All right, but you need to define your why, and that's an episode on its own. You need to make sure that you define why is it that you want to do it. What is it that you want the out of your business, out of what you're currently doing. So that's important, and I'm going to put that to a side. Very critically important. And another thing critically important is, who's your ideal customer? Who is it? And that's also extremely critical. Now, that's not the episode here, but I wanted it to mention, to make sure that you give it some thought to it. All right. Now, the number one challenge is not enough leads going through your pipeline. One of the best ways that I can tell you that we did, and I'm going to speak out of my real estate investing company, is when we first started, what we personally did was we literally defined some channels. So we said, hey, listen, we're going to do some bandit signs, we're going to do some direct mail, we're going to do some online searches. So we like Craigslist and Zillow, and to find sellers. In my case, obviously, I'm sharing basically the things that we did. And what we decided to do is we decided to grab about 5 channels, and those 5 channels, 3 which I already mentioned, was to go very deep and very consistent. The other channel was networking, going through different meetups and basically getting known to people. And then the 5th channel became where we started hosting. Basically, we started hosting meetups, groups, and sharing our knowledge and wisdom, and that was another great way. But we decided that we were gonna go pretty much all out, that we were going to basically master it and become the best at it, dominate that area. And what I can tell you, in the Modesto area, that's where we basically started heavily in the marketing aspect. We decided to do bandit signs in this case, and I'm gonna say that you got to check with your city, municipality, because in some places they don't allow it, or things of that nature, or you may have to run with your own risk, but it's your own decision. Anyways, with me, I decided to do 100 signs. So I decided to create a plan, and the plan was, we're gonna do 100 signs a week. So I started pricing the signs and notice, okay, how much is every sign, per sign? How much am I going to pay for someone to go ahead and install them? I originally started doing it myself. I did it myself to get the experience, to kind of have a good feel on how is it that basically, how long was it going to take me? What type of tools am I going to need? Things of that nature. And the interesting thing is that we decided that we were going to be consistent. Whatever we did, we were going to be consistent, to understand, to comprehend if it was going to give us what we were looking for. And so we started with that. We decided that we were going to do 1,000 letters a week. We do more now. We do substantially more than what we did at the beginning. But see, we were doing, like I said, 100 signs a week, 1,000 letters per week. We were posting on Craigslist. I think we started with 3 times a day, and then it became 10 times a day. And then we would search on Craigslist for deals, Zillow for deals. And we would go to events, we will network, and do meetups and things of that nature. We would do a meetup a month, one a month. Events, we would do minimum 2 to 3 a month. And then we would search every single day on online. All right. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because I want you to know this. If you want to solve the number one problem, you need to make sure that you take massive, consistent action. Is what I called the MAC formula. Massive, consistent action. You can put it either way. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to put, massive action consistent, or massive consistent action, whatever you want to put it in. I remember it very easy as the MAC formula, because the MAC or MCA, the whole point is, if I often encounter people, business owners, that they're always living on a fearful mode. As a matter of fact, I had a gentleman who asked me on one of my meetups, this month. He says, Raul, how do you get out of fear, or how do you actually, basically just dominate fear? And I said, by dominating action, by taking action, by going with full consistent action. See, action, by you becoming a consistent doer, it's going to basically put aside the fear, because it's not going to give you time to think about it. It's not going to give you basically the space to even bring it up. So grab 5 channels, 3 to 5 channels, master it, and don't stop until you know if it truly is going to work or not. I'll give you an example. For us in the bandit signs, we got our first deal. I think it took us very close, very, very close to the 90-day mark. But then between 90 days and 120 days, we landed on, I think it was about 2 deals. And those 2 deals basically netted over 6 figures. So well more than paid off for the bandit signs, for all that time. But see, the thing is, if you do it for a week and you don't get anything, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 8, Oftentimes we just stop doing, we just give up or stop doing it. Did it cross my mind? It did. It's just like anybody else. We're humans, right? It did cross my mind. But I said no. I said I was gonna do it consistently, for a good period of time. I think I said 6 months back then. I think I said I'm gonna give it 6 months, and 6 months is, and it's not like there's a perfect timing. In my case, I want to know if it's something that's gonna work or not. So I created a budget. I said I'm gonna burn this money through that channel. And there's free channels, by the way. It doesn't have to be just paid channels. In this case, it was paid. I said 6 months, 100 bandit signs a week. I did it first myself. Then I hired someone, through Craigslist to post them for me. I paid him $1 a sign. So he was a part-timer. He was a young guy working for McDonald's, who wanted it as a side job. Just had recently got married. He wanted it some extra income because his why was he wanted to buy his own house, right? So he started doing it. Did a phenomenal job. And so I did that 6 months, and guess what? Within those 6 months, we were able to buy three deals, and it paid off. Way then paid off. And we started doing it so heavily that even the media started to catch on. Meaning we were on the front page of the newspaper here locally in the Modesto area, and it was very interesting to see how some people got annoyed by them, but some people were blessed by it. So just understand that, and so you're gonna have both stories. The same thing with letters. Letters, we started doing 1,000 a week, and then I remember the very first batch that we sent. We got our very first deal, and then from there we grew it. Now it's 10,000 letters a week and things of that nature. What I'm saying is, and Craigslist has been great for us. By posting, I put my daughter to do postings of we buy houses, or we buy properties, or we're the perfect buyer for the not so perfect house. And guess what? Consistently, when you give yourself enough time, you'll start you will start understanding what works and what doesn't work. But don't give up too soon. Make sure that you're taking massive consistent action, and then eventually get the KPIs on a weekly basis. Okay, how many postings did you did? How many researches you did online? How many letters? How many bandit signs? How many events did you attend? How many teaching engagements? Whatever that is for you. My personal sincere suggestion: if you want to get rid of that number one problem, become a focused, action, consistent, oriented person. Make sure that you're focused on taking massive, consistent action. You do that, my friend, I can tell you straight flat out that you are going to literally fix that number one issue, and then people are going to start seeking you for advice. All right, so congratulations for watching this episode number 1 here in Level Up Academy, and I'm excited for you. I'm excited. So welcome to the Level Up Now Academy episode series. We'll get to see you in the next video.